Having mastered the basics of SAP S/4HANA Cloud, you're ready to explore how it supports long-term customer service agreements. In this lessons demonstration, we focus on service contract management, the process of creating and managing service contracts within SAP S/4HANA Cloud. Our example centers on Apple Inc. using a scenario that makes the business context clear and relatable. The goal is to see how a service contract is established in the system and prepared for use in downstream service processes. By the end of this introduction, you'll understand the scenario and know exactly what you will learn from the demo. In this demonstration, you will see how to create a service contract with key details. Using the Customer Service Manager role, we'll enter all relevant information: the customer, sold to party, the specific Apple product or equipment covered as a technical object, and the contract's validity period. You'll observe how Apple formally documents a support agreement similar to an AppleCare plan for a product, capturing essential terms right from the start. Define pricing and terms within the contract. We'll incorporate a product-specific price agreement, the contract item, with its service product and pricing conditions. This ensures that the agreed service fee or coverage, for example, Apple's agreed upon support fee for that MacBook or device, is recorded. You'll also see how existing pricing records, condition records, are referenced to maintain accurate and consistent pricing for services under the contract. Activate and prepare the contract for use. After inputting the details, we will release the service contract and all its items to mark it as active. An active contract means Apple's service team can now leverage it. For instance, when creating a future service order for the covered device, the contract's terms will automatically apply. By the end of the demo, you'll understand how the system signals that a contract is ready to be used in actual service delivery. To appreciate why service contracts are so important, let's consider how Apple Inc. might use them. Imagine you're a service manager at Apple responsible for enterprise clients. One of your clients, say a large design firm, has purchased a fleet of MacBook Pros for their employees, along with an AppleCare for Business plan. This AppleCare plan is essentially a service contract. It guarantees that Apple will provide certain services like repairs or replacements for those MacBooks over a 3-year period. In SAP S/4HANA Cloud, you would record this agreement as a service contract detailing each covered device, the scope of support, perhaps unlimited technical support, and 2 repairs per device per year, and the price or fee for the contract. Think about what this accomplishes. By creating a service contract in the system, Apple ensures a clear mutual understanding with the customer. The client knows exactly what level of service they're entitled to, and Apple's teams know the commitments they must fulfill. It's like having a signed agreement always at your fingertips. Whenever a MacBook from that client needs service, the Apple team can quickly check the contract to see if the repair is covered, what costs should be billed, if any, and who to contact. This avoids confusion and delays. Everyone is on the same page from the start. It also helps Apple plan resources because they know in advance how many devices are under contract and can anticipate the workload and parts needed to honor those agreements. Now ask yourself, how would having a detailed service contract benefit Apple and its customers in practice? For example, would it help Apple's support engineers resolve issues faster, knowing the device's service history and coverage? Would it give customers peace of mind that their investment in technology is protected by a reliable service plan? By pondering these questions, you'll begin to see that service contract management isn't just about entering data into a system. It's about building a foundation of trust and efficiency. By the end of this lesson's demonstration, you will have seen how SAP S/4HANA Cloud enables that foundation, and you'll understand how to create a service contract that sets the stage for smooth service operations in a company like Apple. In the first step, let's begin creating a service contract using the role of Customer Service Manager. This role gives us access to functionalities tailored specifically for managing customer service commitments. The service contract is created for a customer and the technical object to which the contract conditions apply. This ensures clarity in terms of service accountability and specific asset management. The customer is the sole two-party whose equipment receives recurring services. Identifying the sole two-party clearly is crucial for accurate billing and service tracking. The service contract contains a product ID representing the service contract item, and it also contains a net value. This clear identification enables efficient processing and billing accuracy. These details form the basis of effective contract management. From the space Service Management, in the section Service Contract Management, let's access the app Manage Service Contract. This is the central point for all contract-related operations and data retrieval. With the Manage Service Contract app, you can create service contracts and service contract items. This allows flexible handling of multiple services under a single contractual agreement. These items are created according to the agreements on service provision that you have made with your customers. This approach streamlines processes by ensuring consistent adherence to predefined agreements. Using this app, you can process service contracts and service contract items. The app enables management, modification, and tracking throughout the life cycle of contracts. You can also retrieve related information throughout their entire life cycle using this app, enhancing visibility and control. Let us click on Create to initiate the service contract. Service contracts represent long-term service agreements with customers. They establish trust and clarity in customer relations by clearly outlining mutual commitments. Contracts define the content and the scope of the services guaranteed within a predefined time frame. This ensures predictable service quality and simplifies service execution. Let's enter the description for the service contract. This description clearly identifies the contract purpose and scope. Let's enter the sole to party. The sole to party is the customer for whom we are creating the service contract. This explicitly links the customer to the contractual obligations. Let's enter the contract start date. Defining a clear start date activates the contract and its associated processes. Now let's enter the contract end date. This sets boundaries on contract validity and supports renewal planning. Let's press enter to access the option to choose the contact person based on partner selection. Contact person selection streamlines communication for service interactions. The options presented on this screen are based on the master data of the sole to party used in the contract. This ensures accuracy and consistency in contact selection. Let's choose Mr. Link as the contact person. Selecting a clear contact person simplifies interactions. Let's now scroll down to the item section. A service contract consists of header data and item data. This structured format allows detailed service specifications. A service product can be maintained for each service contract item. It allows granular control over product-specific agreements. Customers can claim this product over a certain period at a specific price, enhancing transparency and customer trust. In a service contract, we specify many detailed information points agreed upon with the service recipient. This reduces misunderstandings and enhances service execution precision. Some of this detailed information includes routine tasks for the devices that you have sold and the objects for which service can be claimed. It covers comprehensive scenarios for customer satisfaction. Also specified are the conditions under which the contract can be cancelled. This explicitly outlines termination conditions, providing operational clarity. Let's now enter the product ID, quantity, and item category fields. Item categories control system behavior for fields such as price details in items, price details in billing request lines, and auto renewal. These controls streamline back-end operations, ensuring seamless billing and renewal management. Let's confirm the entered details clearly. Now let's click OK to acknowledge the information message that the item category selection is not reversible. This message ensures awareness of operational implications. Next, let's click Edit to further refine the service item details. We are now in the service contract item 100 details. Item level detail management provides enhanced control and accuracy. Here, we can maintain various data points at the item level, such as service data, object lists, product lists, released order lists, billing plans, auto renewal settings, and maintenance plans. This comprehensive dataset allows precise service management and operational clarity. Let us choose the billing plan option at the top of the screen. Billing plans in the contract item control periodic billing and ad hoc billing. They automate billing processes, ensuring timely invoicing. We can use periodic billing plans to schedule individual dates for billing service contracts depending on billing request lines. These lines drive automated billing, improving efficiency significantly. Lines within billing plans generate billing document requests, which are then transferred directly to the billing due list in sales billing. This integration accelerates invoice creation, significantly reducing manual processing efforts and ensuring billing accuracy. Let's review the gross value and the net value of the service contract item by choosing the details under the column labeled Actions. We will now carefully examine these financial details to ensure clarity and accuracy. We are currently viewing the billing request line details, specifically focusing on price details. Here we see the price element ID condition. This element is critical as it defines the pricing structure applied to our service contract. Condition type PSI1 is specifically used within the SAP system to maintain a condition record that holds the agreed upon service contract price for the materials and services utilized. This ensures consistent, clear, and accurate pricing data management throughout the life cycle of the contract. In this particular example, condition type PSI1 has been set at a monthly price of $100 per activity unit. This defined pricing structure supports straightforward billing management, providing clarity both internally and to our customers. Additionally, we have flexibility within the system. We can add extra pricing elements or modify the existing price automatically populated by the condition type PSI1. This capability allows us to tailor our pricing agreements dynamically according to customer needs or market changes. Now let's choose Apply to navigate back to the primary service contract screen, where we can review and manage other critical details related to this service agreement. Next, let's click on the item header area. Here, we are preparing to formally release all items associated with this contract. This step is vital, marking the readiness of contract items for subsequent processes. Let's click on Release All Items. By selecting this option, we can efficiently release all items that are currently marked as open or still in process within the item list. This streamlined action enhances productivity and minimizes manual handling errors. If the items are successfully released, their status changes to released. Once released, the items become active and ready for follow-up processes such as billing and service delivery scheduling. This status update clearly signals to our teams that contractual obligations are now active. We now see the status has changed successfully to released. To confirm and finalize these changes, let's select Save. By saving, we securely store the updated contract details into the SAP S/4HANA Cloud database, ensuring data accuracy and integrity across our system. The service contract has now been successfully saved. Let's choose the Home button to return directly to the SAP Fiori Launchpad home page. This navigation step provides easy access to our central operations dashboard. In the second step, we are adding a product-specific price agreement directly to the contract. We'll also display the condition record previously created within the contract item to verify consistency and accuracy. We will now add a product-specific price agreement clearly defining a new rate of 22 euros per 1 hour unit for the service product identified as SV01. This detailed product level pricing ensures precise billing for specific services provided to our customers. The new product price agreement we are creating will be directly used for pricing future service order items that reference the previously established service contract. This ensures accurate and consistent application of agreed pricing terms. From the SAP Fiori Launchpad homepage, within the space labeled Service Management, under the section Service Contract Management, let us access the Manage Service Contracts application. This app is our central tool for effectively handling all aspects of contract pricing and management. Now let's click on Go to search and display existing service contracts. A detailed list of existing contracts is displayed clearly, allowing us to efficiently identify our previously created contract. Let's locate and select the previously created service contract. After identifying it, let's click the Edit action to modify this specific contract further. We are now viewing the details of the selected service contract. Let's choose Edit specifically for the service line item. Click on the pencil icon located to the left of the line item number 100. This action allows us detailed editing capability. We are now in the service contract item details section. Here, let's click on the price agreement section. Using price agreements, we can effectively offer customers prices that are more advantageous or customized compared to the standard defined rates. Let's click on the Add button. Here, we clearly see various available condition types for pricing. We will select the specific condition type labeled PSC0, tailored specifically for our product pricing scenario. The system now displays that the access for this condition type is associated explicitly with the document category ID and item number. Let's click OK to proceed clearly and accurately. Now, let's enter detailed data for the product-specific pricing condition. We'll enter the condition details, including the condition amount, pricing unit, and unit of measure. Specifically, let's enter the product ID SV01. In the condition amount field, let's enter 22 as our newly defined hourly rate. In the pricing units field, let's specify 1 to clearly indicate the unit quantity associated with our pricing. And for the unit of measure, let's enter hour HR, clearly identifying our time-based pricing unit. Having entered all the details clearly, let's now select OK to confirm and proceed with saving our new pricing conditions. Next, let's select apply to finalize our updates to the price agreement details. Our new pricing conditions are now clearly recorded in the system. Let's choose Release All Items again to return to the overall service contract items view. Now we'll select Save to securely save all the pricing increments and changes we have made. Finally, let's click on the Home button to navigate back seamlessly to our SAP Fiori Launchpad homepage. This completes the second step, clearly demonstrating detailed price agreement management within our service contract. We are now going to the Set Material Price app to review the condition record we created earlier. This step ensures the accuracy and transparency of our pricing adjustments. This particular app is specifically designed to set and display material prices used for sales. It allows easy management and verification of all relevant price conditions within our SAP system. Now, from the SAP Fiori Launchpad homepage, navigate to the Price Management area. Within the section titled Master Data, let us access the app named Set Material Price Sales. Inside the app, let's click on the option labeled Condition Information. This function provides detailed insight into our established pricing conditions. Next, let's clearly enter our condition type, PS CISO. This will specifically retrieve the product-specific price condition we previously established. Then, let's confirm our entry by pressing Enter. Now, let's adjust the date displayed on the screen to match the exact date on which we updated our pricing. This ensures we retrieve accurate and relevant historical pricing data. Next, we'll enter the relevant service material information clearly into the provided field. This step is critical for accurately retrieving pricing details associated with this specific product. Once all information is correctly entered, let's choose the Execute button to run the search. After execution, we clearly see the detailed record for the service contract and the service product associated with the specific pricing amount linked to our selected condition type. This confirms that our pricing data has been accurately updated and recorded within the system. To complete this step, let's click on the SAP icon button, returning us directly to the SAP Fiori Launchpad homepage. In this final step, we will create a service order referencing the previously established service contract. This linkage ensures consistent application of contract terms and accurate billing for service activities. Under the space titled Service Management, navigate to the section Service Order Management. Here, let's open the Manage Service Orders application. With the Manage Service Orders app, we can effortlessly create and edit service orders, clearly specifying details of individual one-off service interactions. These orders formalize the agreement between service providers and recipients for specific services. To initiate a new service order, let us choose Create Service Order. For our example, we will use the Quick Create option, abbreviated as QCreate, for the service order type. This allows rapid creation of standard service orders with minimal data entry required. Notice that the service order fields are pre-populated based on our selections. Let's now enter the sold to party information. Clearly specifying this information ensures accurate customer association for the service order. Next, let's enter the requested start date clearly into the provided field. Defining this date helps schedule service activities accurately. Now, let's carefully enter the relevant product into the appropriate field. The product information defines precisely what service or product the service order covers. After verifying all necessary information, let's click on Save to formally create and record the service order into the system. The service order is now successfully created. To further review or edit details, let's click the Edit button. Upon entering the Edit view, we can clearly see that the previously created service contract has been automatically assigned to this newly created service order. This integration simplifies the management of contractual agreements within our service processes. Additionally, we clearly see the specific contract number, confirming that the correct contract is accurately linked to our service order. Next, let's carefully review the item section. Here we can see that detailed information from the original service contract is automatically copied directly into the service order item. This automated transfer occurs as part of SAP's contract determination functionality at the point of service order creation. Having completed our review, let's now choose the Home button to return seamlessly to the SAP Fiori Launchpad homepage. In this lesson, you saw how to create and manage a service contract in SAP S/4HANA Cloud and how this process underpins long-term customer service relationships. During the demonstration, we followed Apple's Customer Service Manager as they set up a new service agreement step by step. We began by entering the fundamental contract details, identifying the customer, the client receiving Apple's services, and the specific product to be serviced, for example, a MacBook Pro covered under the contract. We specified the contract's time frame by setting a clear start and end date, and even selected the appropriate contact person for the customer. With those basics in place, we added a service contract item. This included the service product, the AppleCare support plan, along with its quantity and pricing. You saw how the system uses the item category and pricing conditions to handle the financial terms, ensuring that billing under the contract will be accurate and according to the agreed price. Once all details were captured, we took the critical step of releasing the contract items. By clicking Release All Items, the contract was activated in the system, marking it as ready for use in subsequent processes. To illustrate that readiness, the demonstration concluded by creating a service order referencing the newly created contract, showing how all the terms we set would carry over when Apple needs to perform a service for the customer. Key takeaways from this demonstration include structured service agreements. You learned how a service contract in S/4HANA Cloud captures all the essential information of a service agreement in one place, from customer and equipment details to the scope of service and duration. Everything is documented. This means Apple or any company can always refer back to the contract to know exactly what's been promised to the customer. Integrated pricing and conditions. We saw that pricing terms such as the cost of the service plan or special discounts can be defined within the contract. By referencing existing pricing records or adding conditions, the system ensures that whenever services are billed under the contract, the correct prices are applied automatically. This avoids manual billing errors and builds consistency. For Apple, it guarantees that every service incident under an AppleCare contract is invoiced correctly according to the agreed terms. Contract activation and usage. Activating, releasing the contract is crucial. You have observed that only after release do the contract and its items become usable in follow-up processes like service orders. In our demonstration, once the AppleCare-style contract was released, Apple's team could create a service order for a covered MacBook, and the system knew to apply the contract's coverage. This step reinforces how different parts of the system link together. A contract isn't just a static record, it directly influences operational documents like service orders and eventually customer billing. Bringing this back to our Apple scenario, consider how these capabilities empower Apple's service operations. Now that you know how to create a service contract, imagine the Apple Care for Business agreement we set up in the scenario. Because all the terms of that contract are stored in SAP S/4HANA Cloud, whenever the design firm, Apple's client, needs a repair or support for one of their MacBook Pros, Apple's service team can respond swiftly. The service contract will surface in the system as soon as they start a service order for that device, automatically telling the service representative, this customer is covered under Apple Care. Here are the covered services. Here is the agreed pricing. This integration means Apple's team doesn't miss anything. They won't accidentally charge the client for something that should be free under the contract, and they won't overlook services that the customer is entitled to. It also simplifies communication. There's no need for back and forth on what's covered, because both Apple and the customer had agreed to the terms upfront, and those terms are right there in the system. Over the long run, this leads to faster service turnaround and higher customer satisfaction. Apple can even analyze how these contracts are used. For instance, how often services are claimed to improve future offerings or pricing. Bringing this back to our Apple scenario, consider how these capabilities empower Apple's service operations. Now that you know how to create a service contract, imagine the Apple Care for Business agreement we set up in the scenario. Because all the terms of that contract are stored in SAP S/4HANA Cloud, whenever the design firm, Apple's client, needs a repair or support for one of their MacBook Pros, Apple's service team can respond swiftly. The service contract will surface in the system as soon as they start a service order for that device, automatically telling the service representative, this customer is covered under Apple Care. Here are the covered services. Here is the agreed pricing. This integration means Apple's team doesn't miss anything. They won't accidentally charge the client for something that should be free under the contract, and they won't overlook services that the customer is entitled to. It also simplifies communication. There's no need for back and forth on what's covered, because both Apple and the customer had agreed to the terms upfront, and those terms are right there in the system. Over the long run, this leads to faster service turnaround and higher customer satisfaction. Apple can even analyze how these contracts are used. For instance, how often services are claimed to improve future offerings or pricing.